Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I thought I would do a video where I kind of share some of the products that I've used to help with the dull skin that I had, and also to help with pigmentation and just get glowy skin. Of course, just using products will not help. You also have to take care of the diet that you are following, and the kind of exercise that you get in, or the amount of water that you drink, fruits, vegetables, everything. So this is something that will aid you in the journey towards really beautiful glowy skin. So anyway, without further ado, I'm just going to start and begin the video. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to say is just ditch all the physical scrubs that you're using. Now, physical scrubs like the ones that have that physical gritty kind of substance that just feels good when you use it. Of course, it momentarily feels good after you have just scrubbed your face away, but in the long run that can cause a lot of tears, micro tears in your skin, and that will damage your skin barrier, and just it's not good for your skin in the long run. Of course, it feels good at the moment. So what you would want to ideally use is chemical exfoliants. Now, chemical exfoliants, when you hear chemical and you hear your face, it just feels very wrong. But I think whatever we are using, like all the cleansers that we are using, the lip balms that we are using, everything that we use around us is processed. It's chemical in some way or the other. So chemical exfoliants, they are acids obviously, and they are manufactured to be used on your skin. Of course, you might have to do a patch test if you have extremely sensitive skin. Like, I was very scared to use exfoliant for the first time, but it turns out it did not kind of irritate my skin at all. But if you have sensitive skin, or if it's the first time that you're going to use, you might want to do a patch test and see. But chemical exfoliants will just help you get that, get rid of the dull skin and just kind of bring the beautiful skin that's underneath. So what chemical exfoliants does is that it just kind of breaks. So our skin looks dull because there are a lot of dead skin cells that are getting accumulated on your face, and all the good skin, the healthy skin, is underneath that. So when you use a scrub, Cherodite, maybe it helps with taking off the dead skin cells, but not completely. So that's where the chemicals come in. They help break the bonds between all the dead cells, and it just kind of clears your skin. It also helps with increasing your skin cell turnover. It helps with collagen production, and in the end you just get really beautiful skin. Now, I will be making a video separately on how to use, like, what I've learned about using chemical exfoliants and what to do and what not to do and all of that. So please stay tuned to my channel. So that's the first thing. So the chemical exfoliant that I'm using, the chemical peel that I'm using, is the one by Dermaco. So this is a 30% AHA, 2% BHA peeling solution, and I was actually very scared to start using it. Please excuse the sound in the background, my son is here. So the color was quite intimidating, and this is what I use. So I will be doing a detailed video on how I exfoliate my skin and all that, so I'm not going to go into that, but this is the first step that you want to do. Now, if you don't feel like going straight away with this thing, you can also start with some kind of serum, like a very mild exfoliating serum. So the one that I use is this lactic acid one. So this has lactic acid and hyaluronic acid, and this will help. Like, if you are a beginner, you can start with something like this, and this also helps with just bringing that glow to your skin, just exfoliating a little bit. So if you're not comfortable with starting with something like this, you can also start with this, or you can also use toners. You have glycolic toners which kind of exfoliate, and you can begin with that and you will see the difference. So that is the first point that I want to say. Second point is, and that is I think it's one of the most easiest ingredient to include in your skincare routine, and that is vitamin C. Now, vitamin C, I think, will be suitable for almost all of the skin types. Unless you have really sensitive skin, you might want to do a patch test, like maybe some a little patch here or something, or maybe on your hand and then on your face, and then you can try. But vitamin C is something that will again help with a little bit of exfoliation. It just helps with brightening your complexion. It helps with taking care of a little bit of texture on your skin, and when you couple this with a sunscreen, it just provides the best what do you call it, the best protection against the sun. So ideally I prefer using vitamin C's in the morning, and then I go in with a moisturizer, and then I go in with a sunscreen. You can also use vitamin C at night, but I feel like vitamin C is best used in the mornings. But you have to make sure that you top it up with a sunscreen, because otherwise it will just kind of, you know, give the opposite effect of what you want. Now for beginners, I think there are a lot of brands that have come up with vitamin C serums. The ones that I've used are the one by Dermaco, the Minimalist, and the one that I'm using right one is by Plum. So this is the vitamin C and Mandarin. Now out of the 3 serums that I've used, I've found that Minimalist in there, I've really loved the consistency and the formulation of it. It's very light, it just gets absorbed in your skin. There's no fragrance whatsoever. Angana nokumba Plum has a slight kind of citrusy fragrance, but not in a good way. But I'm used to it now, and it's kind of a little bit sticky when you put it on initially. Pashadum, it gets absorbed, but this will help. I mean, you can just research. You can go on Nykaa and just kind of find out vitamin C serums, and this will, you know, you will see immediate results if you use it consistently every day. In about 3 to 4 weeks, you'll be able to see very significant changes in your skin. But you have to make sure you use sunscreen when you're using vitamin C. So that's the second point. Now the third thing is something that I already shared in my previous video, is to start shaving. Now shaving sounds very I'm having a brain fart moment kind of. So shaving just helps with, you know, just getting that smooth skin that you want. It just helps again with, you know, just taking care of the dead skin that's kind of accumulated on your face. You can see, you know, that glowy skin coming out. So this is not a compulsion, but if you're someone who's open to trying new things, you might want to try this out. This will change how your skin feels, and also with a smoother finish, with a clearer skin, all the products that you use will penetrate better. So that is something that you might want to try. So till date, all of the razors that I've used, this is the one that I found really good. The blade is really good. You might want to be really careful, because initially I used to cut myself, especially around the nose area. So if you want, I detailed video cheyam, or you have lots of videos on the YouTube, on the internet, about how to shave your face. You can check that, or if you want me to do it, I'll do it as well. So this is something that you might want to think about doing. So that's my third point. The fourth thing would be to start using almond oil. So almond oil, of course, if you have very oily skin, you might want to skip on this, or you might want to use very small quantity of almond oil, because it can be a bit heavy. Pakshe almond oil just helps with brightening up your skin. It helps with, you know, dealing with your pigmentation. It helps with the under eye dark circles. It has a lot of benefits. So it's best to be used at night, because it can be a little bit heavy, and sometimes I feel like mixing 2 or 3 drops of the almond oil in your moisturizer just helps it, you know, spreads even more, and you can just kind of massage it as well. So the one that I am using, so what you have to use is, you have to you know, buy the almond oil that is meant for your skin. You get almond oil for your hair. So this is the oil that I use. So this is by Good Vibes. Good Vibes has a lot of you know, really nice facial oils, and this one is really good. It's not very greasy. It has a very nice smell, and it just works really well. So I use it sometimes. I mix it with my moisturizer, or maybe I just use it on its own. And you don't have to use a lot. You maximum point you have to use like 3 to 4 drops, and if you have oily skin you just need 1 to 2 drops, and that is enough. And you can add it in your moisturizer and then just go put it on your face. And I think it will be best if you use it at night. So that is my fourth point. Fifth point is I'm going to talk about a product that is very dear to me. I've used this for a very long time, and that is Kumkumadi Thailam. So it's famous now everywhere. So this is Kumkumadi Thailam. So the one that I'm using is by the Tribe Concepts. You can get Kumkumadi Thailam from the local Ayurveda shops that you have here. I have used that for the longest time, but the Tirnappa, I just thought I wanted to try a different brand, and this is the one that I'm using. I've heard very good reviews about it, and I so far really like this oil. It just helps with so much, and it helps with brightening up your complexion, giving that glow to your skin. It helps with pigmentation. It helps with all of these good things happen when you use Kumkumadi Thailam. And I will also be doing another video on how to correctly use Kumkumadi Thailam for gaining maximum benefit out of it. But this is something that you might want to try. Correct. So you might wanna, you don't have to buy the same brand. Of course, this is a very good brand, and it is a little bit expensive, but you don't need a lot of the product, and it lasts for a long time. And but nammal local item vaangichaalum, I think the price almost works up to the same. So I really like this oil so far. So this is like a 30 ml product, and I got it for, I think it was around 900 something rupees. But I really like it, and this is something that you might want to consider using. Now if you have very oily skin, or if you have a skin which has a lot of active acne going on, you might want to consult an Ayurveda doctor or something before using this. Eniki nalla pole kuru ullappozhana doctor eniki idu suggest cheythathu, and there was a lot of not a lot of certain steps I had to follow before using this, and I plan to make a video on the same. But if you don't have like oily skin, you don't have to use a lot. That's the difference. You just have to use 1 or 2 drops. If you have dry skin, you can go and use 3 to 4 drops. Ideally it's best if you keep it overnight and just wash it off in the morning. If you're someone who is not comfortable with having oil on their face during night, you can just use it as a mask for like maybe 1 hour or 2 hours and then wash it off. So it's best if you use it overnight, but something is better than nothing. So this is something that you might want to consider investing on. The last and the most important point is to use sunscreen. Now I was a person who didn't like using sunscreen, mainly because the formulations were not good. They used to give that really bad white cast, and then it didn't blend into your skin. But the formulations are really good. This one especially is one of my favorites. This is really nice, and it has both UVA and UVB protection. It is SPF 30 PA+++, so that is something that you have to look out for. UVA, UVB and 30 plus side, and so if you don't use sunscreen, then there's no point in doing any of the other steps that I mentioned, because even when you're using active ingredients, you have to use sunscreen to protect against sunlight, because if you don't use protection against sunlight, the rays will kind of react differently, and it will give you the opposite results of what you actually want. So this is something that you don't want to skip on, and this again helps with the sunburn but that increases the pigmentation that is there on your skin. So to take care of all of that, you have to use this. So that is all that I wanted to share in this video. I hope you found it helpful. These are some of the things that I've been doing for quite some time now. I've researched quite a lot, I've read a lot of books, I've watched a lot of videos, I've googled, and ellam kazhinjittu this is something that I have realized that helps in taking care of your skin really well. And even if you're someone who is not into skincare so much, just include vitamin C in your skincare routine, and also incorporate sunscreen if you're not already doing so, and that itself will show you such a huge difference, and you will be motivated to, you know, kind of follow through all of the points that I just said before. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please let me know in the comments or like the video, and if you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. So until we see in the next video, take care of yourselves. Bye bye.